What's up, fight fans? Minseo here, and today we are looking at a completely different side of the fight game. We all know Conor McGregor for the flash, the trash talk, and the chaotic press conferences. But in his most recent interview, the combat sports world caught a glimpse of a profoundly changed man. The notorious persona has shifted into something unexpected, a grounded, reflective warrior. Today, we are breaking down Conor's massive personal evolution, his unexpected journey into deep religious faith, and how fatherhood has completely reshaped his approach to training and life. If you've been following his career from the early featherweight days to the double champ status, you'll know this mental shift is his biggest transformation yet. Smash that like button, subscribe to Minseo MMA, and let's dive into the evolution of the Mag. When Conor snapped his leg back in 2021, the world watched him scream on the canvas. But the physical pain was nothing compared to the psychological warfare that followed. Conor opened up about hitting absolute rock bottom during his grueling multi-year recovery. For a man whose entire identity was built on movement, speed, and absolute athletic dominance, being suddenly trapped on a couch with a 20% chance of never walking normally again was a terrifying reality. He admitted there were some incredibly dark, heavy moments where the weight of the injury felt almost too immense to overcome. But instead of letting the darkness consume him, Conor claims he relished the opportunity to test his inner strength. He stood up, faced the despair head-on, and used those dark moments to completely rebuild his psychological foundation. Perhaps the most surprising revelation from the interview was Conor's deep dive into religion. While he was raised Catholic by his family in Ireland, he spent the peak of his career showcasing a highly materialistic, self-deifying persona. But Conor revealed that when you hit absolute rock bottom and everything else is stripped away, there is nothing left to rely on but God. He describes experiencing a series of profound, divine coincidences during his recovery that forced him to reevaluate his entire spiritual life. Conor stated directly that he has gone all in on his faith, openly forgiving himself for the times he disgraced the massive platform God gave him in the past. It's a level of humility we've never heard from him before, signaling a massive spiritual awakening. Conor used a powerful metaphor to describe his current mental state, walking a razor-thin tightrope stretched high above the ground. He explained that when you are down in a dark place or living recklessly, you don't feel emotion, you simply don't care about the consequences. But once you do the heavy internal work to fix your life and reach a steady, peaceful state, the tightrope suddenly becomes even thinner. The stakes become incredibly high because the fall from grace is much further. Conor acknowledges that maintaining his balance, discipline, and sobriety is a daily, ongoing battle where the rent is due every single day. He credits his newfound focus on internal balance and spiritual guidance for keeping his feet firmly planted on that wire without slipping back into old, destructive habits. There was a time when Conor's entire brand was defined by custom suits, multi-million-dollar watches, and boasting about his massive net worth. He famously manifested reaching the top of the Forbes highest-paid athletes list, and then he actually did it. But today, Conor claims he is completely over the materialistic lifestyle. He explicitly stated that money is not the be-all and end-all of life, and that flashing wealth no longer serves his soul. He even claimed he will never register to be on the Forbes list again because of the toxic forces and negative energy it attracted into his inner circle. Conor is actively fighting to keep his lifestyle modest and focused, realizing that true peace cannot be bought with a luxury watch collection or a fleet of supercars. Looking back at his historic run through the UFC, Conor made a fascinating distinction between who he was then and who he is today. He admitted that during his meteoric rise to fame, despite the world championship belts and global stardom, he was essentially operating with the mindset of a boy. The chaotic energy, the reckless public behavior, and the constant need for external validation were all symptoms of immaturity. But through the intense adversity of his injury and the quiet years away from competition, he feels he has finally transitioned into a real man. This evolution has changed how he interacts with his team, how he treats his body, and how he views his legacy. He is no longer fighting to prove something to the doubters. He is fighting as a mature operator. In the past, a young Conor McGregor famously claimed that having children would make a fighter lose their competitive edge. He believed that the soft nature of family life would dull the killer instinct required for high-level combat. But with 4 children now pulling him forward, Conor completely took those words back, admitting they came back to bite him. He revealed that fatherhood has actually become his greatest shield against the distractions of fame. Instead of floating around the city in a roofless car with his phone blowing up, family life forces him to live strictly like an athlete. Returning home to his kids forces him into a wholesome, disciplined routine, keeping him safely insulated within a positive training bubble far away from the chaotic traps of his past lifestyle. Conor's evolution isn't just changing his own life, it's directly impacting how he raises his children. He spoke with immense pride about coaching his eldest son, Conor Jr., in intense football drills, utilizing his decades of elite sports science and fitness knowledge to build his son's engine and strengthen his mindset. His daughter is heavily invested in camogie, a traditional, fast-paced Irish stick game, while his younger son is gearing up to join a sports team next year. On top of their field sports, his kids are actively training in jiu-jitsu and striking at John Kavanagh's SBG gym. Conor is completely invested in passing down his elite athletic blueprint, focusing his legendary drive away from personal glory and toward guiding his children to chase their own dreams. With hundreds of millions of dollars sitting securely in his bank account, the biggest question surrounding Conor has always been, why bother coming back to the brutal pain game? He addressed the famous Marvin Hagler quote about how it's hard to get out of bed to go road work when you're sleeping in silk pajamas. Conor's answer was simple. He is fighting purely for the fun of it. He deeply yearns for the thrill of true competition, the electricity of the crowd, and the chess match of elite mixed martial arts. He is completely disconnected from the financial motivation, viewing this upcoming July 11th return as an act of pure passion. He loves the sport, he loves the crack, and he is returning simply because the cage is where he feels most alive. To wrap it all up, Conor's final motivation for stepping back into the line of fire is entirely selfless. For his last few bouts, he famously refused to allow his wife, his children, or his extended family to be anywhere near the arena, choosing instead to isolate himself in a dark, hyper-aggressive mindset. But for July 11th in Las Vegas, he plans to break that rule entirely and bring the entire McGregor clan cageside. He wants his older children to witness firsthand exactly what can be achieved in this life when you dedicate your entire heart, mind, and soul to a singular, monumental task. He isn't fighting for the paycheck or the luxury lifestyle anymore. He is fighting to inspire his kids, to thank the loyal fans who stayed by his side through his darkest hours, and to prove to the entire world that a man can completely reinvent himself no matter how far he falls into the darkness. This is no longer the story of a brash young kid trying to escape poverty. This is the legacy of a father proving the power of resilience to his family. It is a deeply compelling psychological shift that makes this comeback far more fascinating than any title run. What do you guys think of Conor's spiritual and mental turnaround? Do you think this calm, grounded, zen state of mind makes him a more dangerous martial artist? Or do you think he needs that old, chaotic anger to win at the highest level? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you appreciated this deep dive into the human side of the fight game, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Minseo MMA, and share this video with a fellow fight fan. I appreciate all the incredible support, guys. Have a great day, stay safe, and I will see you next time.